Over the past couple of weeks, I've been really struggling with the concepts of self-love and self-acceptance. I mean, sure, throughout my life I've had ups and downs when it comes to my relationship with myself, but I have always managed to discern between anxious thoughts creeping in and my lived reality. But the past couple of weeks, and especially the past couple of days, it feels like my thoughts have taken over me. Whether it's thoughts about my body, my face, my overall physical appearance, or it's about my intellect, my abilities, my future, I feel like I've been actively pushing myself down by my own doing. It's like they say, you're your worst enemy. Very true for me lately. I haven't been able to fully comprehend where these thoughts stem from currently. However, I did notice my tendency to compare myself with others a lot. I feel like me going back on Instagram more actively can be a partial explanation, and then I started posting on YouTube, and that seems to also be a reasonable explanation. But if I look at other aspects of my life, my classes, my daily life in New York, there is comparison in everything. It's as if I started looking at people in all the crevices of my life, people I know, and also people I've never met, and I felt like I was falling behind. I've always wanted to be exceptional at something, to have that moment where I think to myself, this is what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. But although I've tried on many different things throughout my life so far, nothing really stuck, making me fear that I will never actually excel at this one thing. And most of the time I feel good about knowing a little bit about a lot. Most of the time I can appreciate the beauty in that. But the past week, it felt like my huge fear of mediocrity was really taking charge. I still feel that voice in my head reminding me that while I can play the piano, I can only play 1-2 songs I still remember. Or that while I know I'm smart, I still haven't found a summer internship. Or that while I'm an active person, I'll never have the body I want. I'm saying all these things because voicing them out loud somehow makes it easier for me to grasp how ridiculous they are. But also reminds me to look at where these thoughts stem from. And of course, they stem from being in this constant state of looking at others and thinking, God, I wish that was me, rather than appreciating what I currently have and who I am. I think being in the moment and being grateful for the present is something I've always struggled with. You know that feeling when you're on vacation and then once you're home, some sort of nostalgia hits you? Well, for me, this nostalgia comes even before I've left. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a state of perpetual nostalgia, and it's not just about a vacation, it's about everything I did in the past. I often catch myself scrolling through my camera roll and looking at videos or photos and thinking, I looked so much better then, or life felt so much more lively then. I mean, it's funny how, without context, all these videos that I'm compiling together might seem like I was having a blast over the past few days. I guess my point is, truly, nothing is as it seems on the outside. Without adding a comment through this voiceover, I know that my life this week might seem great, but you never know what is going on in somebody's head, even when they carry on as usual.
Go forth with pride, all the courage and strength you can muster inside. And if you're feeling defeated after a while, just take a moment and let yourself smile and sing down and down, down and down.
From the point where I started feeling particularly low, it took me about a week to get out of the lull. I wish there was a specific reason why I feel a bit better now, or a moment that I can define so I can share it here, but all I can do is treat this like a video diary. My only urge towards whoever is listening is to tell you to stop looking at other people's lives, or even your own past, and think, I wish that was me. One thing I always remind myself of is that we are all flawed humans with our own issues and worries. I truly believe there's not one single person on the planet that constantly thinks, my life is the best. Sometimes the people whose life we idealize have struggles we can't even imagine. I'm not gonna say the usual, you gotta be grateful for what you have. and that's it, because I know how hard that might be. What I'll say is, just notice the moments you feel that comparison creeping in, and try to ground yourself in your life. Maybe look around and use your senses for grounding. What you can smell, what you can hear, what you can see. Or maybe mentally jot down 1 2 things you enjoyed about your day. Or maybe talk to somebody if that helps you. But maybe you're like me and prefer to be in denial and continue like no thoughts are entering your mind, which I don't think is the healthiest way to deal with this, by the way. But if you are like me, I would just say, as cliche as it may sound, nothing lasts forever. And this period will also, at some point, subside. And you will come out on the other side. Take me as an example.
Somebody